a place called NICKS English Hut. This is an institution in Bloomington, and we're lucky enough to be joined by the owner, Rags.
Hey, Craig, how's it going?
Good. I'm so happy to be here, first off.
I'm glad you're here, too.
This place is an institution in Bloomington.
It's iconic. I'm a very fortunate guy. This is our 95th year. So we're very happy and fortunate about that because, the last few years have been kind of tough, but we're still here and be gearing up for our 100th anniversary.
Wow.
In 5 years, yeah.
5 years. So 27 will be 100 years.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep.
And this place has grown in 100 years.
Yes, it has. Originally, it was just the front room, which we'll probably see here in a little bit. And originally, because it was opened up during Prohibition, so it was originally sandwich, cigarette shop back in the day. Actually, I got some pictures that depict that. And so after Prohibition, we got our liquor license in January 34. And then after that, the rest of it is history. So there's World War II was really big for us because after World War II, IU had a huge GI Bill. And so we had a lot of wily veterans that came in. They're over 21. And at that time, we just had the front seating. So it was like seating for about 75 people. And there's a little grill in there, serve burgers and fried bologna sandwiches. And then we've grown to what we are today, seat about 500 people.
Wow, I love it. Fried bologna sandwiches.
We don't do that anymore. We're thinking about bringing the fried bologna sandwich back, though.
It's a classic. I could see that. I could totally see that. So it started as sandwiches and candy, did you say? Or
a candy shop, cigarettes, ice cream. It was basically a soda fountain kind of thing.
And it was started by a man named Nick.
Her smallest. There really is a Nick. It's not. We didn't make up a name like some of the other places around here. I'm not really throwing any smoke in anybody. But Nick Hersmalis started as he's a Greek immigrant. He originally had another candy store down on the square. Moved down here when Kirkwood was basically almost a dirt road because it was Indiana University and downtown. We were kind of in the middle. There were houses all around. It was more of a neighborhood type of thing. And we still had that same kind of neighborhood feel. Sandwiches, beer, wine, whatever you like. Come in and relax.
Well, I just see the door opening and closing nonstop. This place is busy all of the time.
We're not even busy yet. Wait till next week when it's opening, when the dorms open up and IU starts, on the whole IU scene starts unfolding. But right now, yes, like I said, we're very fortunate to have a great location and great customers. So.
Yeah, so we are just about a week before the students all come back here to Bloomington, and it just gets crazy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, students or Indiana University drives the economy of Bloomington, but we get a little bit of everybody. The university brings in a lot of associates, business people from all around the world, all around the state. So the students kind of drive Indiana University, but it's everybody else that works and are associated with IU kind of bring everybody down here for all ages, See, originally we were 21 and up only. And about 20 years ago, we decided to go ahead and have make it under 21. So we have dining in here. So that our business really took off after that. See, originally when I started here in 1978.
Wow, it was 1978.
1978 when I had hair.
Me too.
Yeah. And it was about 10% food and 90% distilled spirits, beer and wine. And now it's probably about close to 65% food. A lot has to do with the influx of families and kids and just everybody of all ages. So it kind of took off as like that. And so we're very proud of our food and very proud of our establishment.
Well, can we go in and take a look?
Hey, anything for you, buddy.
All right, let's do it. Come on, guys. All right, so this is the original room, I'm guessing.
Yes, this is what we call the front room, very original. It's in front. This is where we opened up in 1927. Nick Hersmalis, our original owner, was here, and there's a picture of him right there. And there's a picture of the original front of the building.
Wow.
So originally the grill was back there toward the back of the room, and it was a very small grill. I know this was, as a matter of fact, because the owner's son, Dr. Frank Hersmalis, was my physician for 40 years. He passed away recently.
Oh, wow.
But so he told me a lot of stories and in depth about the NICKS history, and then Dick Barnes, my former partner who passed away in 2008, gave me a lot of info also. So I'm kind of like the resident historian too. So yeah, these booths are 1927. That's why they're a little bit smaller. Yeah. So usually it's not really super comfortable here, but people love it because they feel like they're 21 again when they come in here. That's usually the first place that people had beer legally because we've been pretty strict serving people under 21. So this was kind of the rite of passage was to come to NICKS for your first beer.
I love this A-frame ceiling that we have throughout here. I guess that's just a continuation of the gable out front?
Yeah, pretty much. This was the original building, and so it was a very simple, very modest building because Nick was a very modest guy, and so it just started out as a small shop. He had no idea it was going to expand the way it is today.
Yeah. All right, so you brought us into Is this like the newest room here?
Well, the newest room in NICKS history, yeah, it's been here about 23 years. It's called the Hoosier room because we're all Hoosiers here in Indiana. Originally, it was, we knocked the whole, this is actually a separate building. This was a billiards bowling alley. We're actually sitting on top of a laminated maple bowling alley floor.
Wow.
Yes, it used to be Kleindorfer's Bowling Alley. It was Kleindorfer's is a hardware store, you might remember. It's located down the street. And this is old man Kleindorfer's original business. So that's what we like, that history, try to keep it all in kind of the family thing, because I'm pretty tired of some of the Kleindorfers. But 1999, we punched a hole in the wall from our building to this building. It's right next door. And we kind of made it into a pool hall originally. We did serve drinks, obviously, and food, but we just developed it in stages. We developed half as a pool hall, was pretty successful with that, so we opened up the rest of the room, made it more of a bar. We decided it was so successful that we needed to make it more efficient, so we closed down for about a month, redid the whole bar, replumbed everything, redid all electricity. It still looks like it's from 1920-something, but it's pretty modern with all the tech stuff we have in here. And we opened up the Hoosier room for all of our IU fans or Purdue fans, whoever you are. Whoever wants to come is fine. And so it just morphed into a place where it's one of the main meeting places for the youth of Indiana University. All ages come up here, of course, but this is more of a nightlife thing too. A lot of students come in here in the evening and night. During football, basketball games, we have alum come up here and act like they're 21 again. That's always fun.
I bet you get a lot of that.
Yeah, well, that's what we love, because we like to hear those stories that people actually feel like they're 21 again. And we have different generations. We've had 4 generations in the building at one time, where somebody's great-grandfather, grandfather, dad, son, daughter come in. So we invested a lot in draft beer. We're the largest, I think we started the largest on-premise beer account in the state, or one of them, because we have 48 taps now, something like that. I can't remember exactly.
And a lot of thirsty students.
A lot of thirsty students. They come here after they study. And
yes,
they come here to
only after they study.
to get the pressure off. Yeah, and we do sell a lot of food up here too. But this is the place where after we beat Kentucky with that last shot, this was a place that went viral on ESPN. A student here was shooting that. When Christian Watford's shot went through to beat Kentucky that year, this place went nuts. Was our insurance carrier up in Wausau, Wisconsin, saw that video on ESPN and called us and goes, "What the F is going on?" Seriously. And so what we had to do was totally redo our security now. We can't let people go back and forth between certain rooms because of that. It's kind of set a precedent.
Interesting.
What happened, and we were overcrowded here. It was a very intense game, and this is kind of the room where everybody gathers. I mean, you see all these TVs in here. So it was, a nail biter, of course, and everybody just jumped in this room. That final shot went through. It looked like there were 1,000 people in here. There might have been maybe 250. We only supposed to seat 200, and the place erupted. It looked like the place was exploding. Oh, man. But and so that kind of made us a little more famous here at NICKS Ingolstadt, and thank goodness for Christian Watford out there.
What I love about this room is when I look around on the walls, I feel like I'm in a museum. There are pieces all around here documenting. I see documents, I see photos, I see memorabilia. It's everywhere.
Yeah, we've had access to IU archive pictures, so I've been very fortunate with that and being able to pick and choose certain pictures from certain eras. I like a lot of old football history, like in 1945 when we won the Big Ten championship. We're undefeated in that year in football. I'm a big IU football fan, so along certain walls, like one wall over there, I've got mostly IU football pictures. I've got a basketball section. I'm a huge baseball fan, so I've got a lot of baseball pictures in here. A lot of my friends played IU football or basketball, so I have their picture in here too. So it's just a fun place to be, and I do feel like I'm a curator of a museum sometimes. Here's a picture of George Taliaferro. There's a great picture. So I kind of like, I'm an old school guy, so I love the new guys and new things going on, but that's George back in the day when he was the first African American football player for IU in the Big Ten, I do believe.
Yes.
No, not about the Big
First
Ten.
one here.
Right. And then he was drafted in the NFL, but went to a different league. But yeah, and a great fellow, and he just passed away several years ago.
Wow.
We do have some soccer stuff, since we have a great soccer team.
Yeah.
So it has our championship jerseys that Coach Yeagley gave us. And there's my buddy Terry Talon up there. That's his claim to fame here at NICKS. And there's my buddy Lee Corso over there. My picture, Joe Norman. And of course, A.T. Anthony Thompson right next to him. Probably got robbed of the Heisman Trophy back in the day. I think Andre Royer won it, which is fine. He deserved, all the accolades also. But A.T.
Yeah.
Anthony Thompson was the man. And then here's a picture of very first IU Purdue game.
Oh, wow.
In 1925.
Now that's some Indiana history right
Yeah.
there.
Final score 0-0.
So no one took the oaken bucket that
I don't know. I don't think they split it in half. No, it's still original bucket. Yeah, they compromised it. Pete Pihos, a lot of people don't remember him, but he was just an awesome football player back in the day. He was one of the best football players in the United States. So, yeah, we go around. And here's my buddy, Mike Harkrader. Pound for pound, this guy probably was 5'8", tougher than nails, but a great guy. I mean, he was like, I was a walk-on. He treated me like gold, too, because I used to work out in the running back stuff. But, I mean, pound for pound, the best running back probably you ever had. Sorry, A.T., but, I mean, this guy was tougher than nails. He played with 2 broken legs.
Wow.
Yeah. Our little 5 section here.
Got to have a little 5 section here.
I've got some photographs that go all the way back to Herman B. Wells there. Right in the 50s and in the first women's race, and then throughout the years. And of course, once Breaking Away came out, then the Little 5 got really popular. So yeah, Little 5, this place is insane also. So of course, everybody feels like they're 21 again then too. So we have a.
Anytime I come to Bloomington, I feel young again.
Thank you. I think that's we are a fountain of youth, and that's kind of what makes us special. Because seriously, people, they could be 80 years old and they feel like they're 21 again. They start drinking beer and looking at the chicks again. Yeah.
You are the gatekeeper of this for this building, this historical spot. So you are.
That's a good way to put it. I feel that way. Thank you.
You are. Yeah. You are that indeed, and the way you kept it going.
There's a lot of pressure on my shoulders. I mean, the Hirsch-Mallis family started, and then went to the Barnes family, and then I came in 1978 and kind of became a member of the Barnes family. Dick Barnes, who I bought it from, I kind of was like another son to him, and he's the guy that kind of egged me on and provoked me and permitted me to buy shares of this place. I ended up buying the rest of them later. So I've been very fortunate. I started out washing dishes in 1978. I still wash dishes. I still cook. So, it's just, So I'm a little bit of everything here. I mean, obviously it's about the customers and about the history and my wonderful staff. But, this is my life, so I enjoy it very much. I'm very fortunate. I'm just really am. And, I want customers to be happy. I want our food to be the best it can. It's bar food, but I try to make it as best a quality as possible. We use local ingredients a lot of times. We started doing that before it's fashionable. So I want my customers to have a great experience.
Just coming in the door, looking around, the experience is kicked off really well.
I mean, there's some places now where they actually construct restaurants or bars to have these little nooks and crannies everywhere. This place was developed, started in 1927, and the back room was developed in 1965 to 1967. The room next to us, 2000, 1999, 2000 here. So it has gone through the decades. It is really a virtual museum. That's why people like it. They feel very comfortable here. It's like their living room, their second living room, their second home. People that are regulars here, they like it because they're very comfortable.
Now let's get to the food for a minute, because the food, it started as sandwiches, but now you've grown, and so many things have been added over the years, and the menu's definitely much larger than just sandwiches right now.
Sure.
But what do you think you're known for most on your menu?
Probably a NICKS stromboli. I used to eat a ton of them when I first started working here as a kid. I didn't know what they were, so they're just absolutely delicious. I loved them, but after about several thousand of them, you get, I don't want to say tired of them, but my palate's kind of developed a little bit differently. The stromboli's number one for sure. Our pizzas are great. Our NICKS burgers have become very famous too, because we partner with the farm, Fisher Farms, which is down by Jasper, Indiana, with the Fisher family, and it's an all-natural beef, and it's local, and it's a high quality, and that really took off too. And of course we have Biz Fries, Sink the Biz, which we have Sink the Biz bucket game, which is a drinking game. It's a very tame drinking game. And so that became really popular, and so I decided we needed to accentuate that with some food. So we developed a bucket of fries, seasoned fries. I put Romano cheese in it and some secret spices and things like that.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I want to say I'm glad you were injured or not. That sounds horrible, but would you be here today if you would have been? We don't know.
I think fate probably would have drawn me here sooner or later anyway. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, I'm very lucky to be here. So I love it.
Well, I got to thank you for having us here today.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. I got to tell you, this NICKS English Hut here in Bloomington is truly part of Indiana's story, and you, my friend, are truly part of Indiana's story.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, folks. Thanks for watching. When you're in Bloomington, come and see him here at NICKS. We'll see you next time.